ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Kitchen Table Wargaming Battle Report. I am super excited to be having the Genestealer Cult in all their new glory, new book, new rules. It's going to be a good old time. So there's the Warlords here. We got the Brotherhood Ancient, not Paladin, just Brotherhood Ancient with a Stormbolter. And then we've got the Patriarch, just being a big baddie. And I haven't faced them yet, but I've definitely watched some videos. They're hard to get rid of, hard to shift. They're very killy. So it's going to be rather exciting. So we'll give you more information when we go over the lists in just a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is the 2,000 points of Grey Knights that I'm going to be playing today. This is my current list, I guess. I played it once and it was a lot of fun. So here's what we've got. We've got 2 patrols, hence the various characters. And of course that dude is an elite, but he's a character. So speaking of, he is my warlord. He has the Obsec aura for the warlord trait. And he has the Cuirass of Sacrifice for that nice +1 to the save roll and 5-up shrugs. Yes, very cool. It helped me greatly in one game recently, not in the last game. So we'll see. It seems to be swingy. Next to him on this side, we're having Mr. Crow. He is the one without a helmet. He just does what Crow does. To the left of the Ancient, we have the Tech Marine. He's going to be buffing up shooting, possibly, for certain vehiculars in my list. And then I've got Drago, and of course he does what Drago does. He's just fun. Chapter Masters and all those good things. And most of their powers are actually pretty similar. These guys both have Sanctuary. Or no, he has Sanctuary. He has Warp Shaping. Drago has Sanctuary, Gate of Infinity, and Empiric something, the one that gives attacks on Nemesis weapons and extra damage. I can't remember what that's called all of a sudden. And Mr. the Crow just has Gate of Infinity. So that's characters there, and I do have one Grandmaster Nemesis Dread Knight for my last character. I've got 2 squads of 5 Strike Marines. I've got a 10-man squad of Interceptors. And then I also have a 5-man squad of Interceptors back there. 2 Nemesis Dread Knights, all of them are kitted out exactly the same. And then lastly, but not leastly, is the big old Land Raider. You can chuckle, go ahead, laugh at my multi-melta. And by the way, I glued on my Hunter Killer Missile before that was a realization of mine that they're not necessarily permanent. So I don't actually have the Hunter Killer. I do have the multi-melta, I just don't have the dude holding the multi-melta at the moment. Couldn't find him in my box of bits. So my multi-melta is just kind of hovering, and it is what it is. The rest of it's correct. So this is exactly 2,000 points. I have paid for, no, I did not for this game. I'm running Rapiers for the Brotherhood, and I was trying to remember, there's an extra something somewhere. Oh, I paid for Tech Marine to have the once per game ignore Overwatch. And I paid for the Ancient to have the 3-unit redeploy at the beginning of the game, or end of deployment, whichever wording you want to use for that. So those are my extra things, and of course the big Dread Knight also has the relic for the disappearing trick when it gets targeted for shooting. That's everything. So I start this list with 9 command points, 2 for the patrol, 1 for an extra extra relic, and that's it. So, we'll have some fun with it. We'll see how it works out. I got to play test it one time and it was pretty cool. But today, I'm facing a new army with a new book. And it's going to be a good time. We'll see what happens and we'll show you the Genestealer Cults next. Alright, folks. I can't even start with a shot of the overall of the army because it's Genestealer Cult. And it just keeps going and going and going. So I'm going to go this direction. Start with what I know how to tell you about. There's 2 squads of 4 bikes. They are, one of them has 1 fewer power weapon, you said. It'll be this squad with a grenade launcher. And otherwise, they're pretty much the same. There's 2 squads of 6 Genestealer Cult. There's 1, 2 10-man squads of Neophytes. Oh wait, there's more. 3, 4 squads of 10-man Neophytes. So there's lots and lots of bodies. And Neophytes and Acolytes all have OBSEC, right? That's what I was thinking. Then there's 1, 2, 3 back there, and 4 of the Acolytes that are 5-mans, 2 10-man squads of Acolytes that are 10-man, and then there's a Ridge Runner, and the Ridge Runner doing what it do. It's got the mining laser, stubbers, and the chaff launcher? Flare launcher, yep. So those things I can tell you about. Then he has a plethora of characters for this game. So we'll let you start this direction and work your way down.
Okay, so that's crazy. One of my 3 psychers.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of psychic potential in this list. So that is going to be one of my maxes. That will be my... right here. It will have massive Gnosis of Mind Control.
Yeah.
The guy next to him is an Acolyte Icon Ward.
Mm-hmm.
He will have... I'm spending points on Leader of the Cult, and he will have a Warlord trait in addition to my Warlord.
Cool.
He will have Focus of Adoration. It allows core units within 6 to perform heroic interventions.
Oh, okay.
Along with
is it
Pure
a
Strength
3-inch,
Genestealers.
3-inch heroic, or is it a 6-inch heroic?
I will have to look and tell you that directly.
No worries. We'll find out when the game's playing.
Yeah, so my main Warlord, because of Genestealer Cult, has to be my Patriarch.
Woo.
Yes.
Lovely.
He will have the relic of the Unwilling Orb. He's going to be pondering it today. He will have the Psionic Blast and Mental Onslaught, two Witchfires. So what the Unwilling Orb does, it gives him a additional deny and +1 to cast Witchfire and Maledictions.
Ooh.
And he gets to deny anywhere on the board.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Could be unpleasant.
Yeah. The other Magus next to him in the orange robe will be the other guy with Leader of the Cult. And he will have Psychic Stimulus and Might from Beyond, and his Warlord trait is going to be Alien Majesty.
Alright.
So an extra 3 inches to his auras and other stuff.
Nice.
I have a Primus with a proficiency planning of the Exacting Planner. It allows him to do his built-in rules twice per turn,
Cool.
or one time.
Yeah.
Next to them, I have a Locus, no upgrades.
Okay.
Behind him is a Nexus with my second relic, the Cranial Inlay. And then behind them is my Kellermorph with another relic. That is my Wormtooth Rounds, and you will have the proficiency planet of a Perfect Ambush, which allows him to come in, pick a target within 12, and get +1 to hit and wound that thing.
Yeah. It's dirty.
The other two characters I have there is a Clamavus, just
to
kind of hang out in the back and deny deep strikes.
Yeah.
He's got some other nice things.
Yeah.
And then my last character is the last one with a relic,
Assassin.
and that is, yes, my Assassin. That is my Sanctus with a dagger and the Dagger of Swift Sacrifice.
This is some craziness.
He will also have the proficiency planning of They Came From Below, which allows him to go into a cover, but I can change it to where he goes underground or just move 9 inches.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope y'all understand that. I don't understand all of it yet. I'm about to learn a lot about this. This is going to be a hoot. So my very small model count versus enough models to cover the board entirely is going to be a rather interesting. So we're going to have a good time. This is exactly 2,000 points. Yes, be prepared to be entertained. We'll come back in a minute. We'll do the deployment, the game, mission, etc. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We rolled up mission number 12, so we've got deployment zone going down that way. It goes half, and then you get that corner of the board. Let me show you the Genestealer Cult deployment. Oh, huzzah. Yay! That's it. In this mission, I guess I should tell you, it is called Tear Down the Icons. This one, ironically, doesn't have a lot to do with icons, except that you get to set explosives. So I guess in that sense, you're tearing down icons somewhere. The secondary, or the mission secondary as they call it, or somebody called mission bonus recently, I like that a lot, is if I can get a unit into his deployment zone and I can use their action and it ends at the end of my turn, if I'm OBSEC, it's the end of my turn. If not, it's the next command phase. I can prime an explosive that we would just imagine goes off. If he does nothing to that explosive, meaning he does not defuse it, then at the end of the game, I will score a certain number of points for however many explosives I've primed that he is left alone. Which is really tricky for me, less tricky for him, probably. Last time I tried this game, I didn't get any points on the secondary, because how would you? But that is, interesting. So if you do it in your last turn, if you have enough units left, that's cool, because it ends and goes off automatically. So, I don't know, there's some interesting things to do. My deployment, Dread Knight over there, Dread Knight over here. I had pretty much forgotten that there's, reason to be screening for Deep Strike, and then he reminded me he can Deep Strike in 6 inches, and that's cute, as long as he doesn't charge. There is a Mr. Crow inside this building. I did not Deep Strike anything in this game, so I've got Strike Squad there, got Drago, Ancient, Tech Marine, Land Raider with 10 Interceptors inside, Grandmaster Dread Knight, and then Interceptors on this side. And that's it. I have no idea where he's going to pop things, what he's going to do. This is the secondaries for both of us. Nice glare on there. I'm taking Assassinate because you have 8 or 9?
I got a ton of characters.
It's a lot of characters. It's ridiculous. Like, I can kill half of them and have it be done. Like, it's absurd. I am going to try Stranglehold, and I'm going to go for Grind Them Down. And Wes is taking Brood Swarm, the cool Genestealer Cult one. If he has more models in the No Man's Land than I do, he gets a point or 2 points.
I have 1 point if I have more in my zone than you and more in your zone.
Right, so
if
it's
I get
all 3.
It's 4.
Oh, nice. So if he can do it in all 3, then he gets extras, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot for Genestealer Cult. He's doing the research and development, as we like to call it these days, and Assassinate, because I, too, have a lot of characters. I have 5, so we'll see what happens with that. And now, it's time for the roll to see who is going to be going first this day. I'm curious. Go ahead.
Hacha.
Oh, he starts with a 6. That's cute. Oh, I tried. That's only a 5, folks. So, we'll be back after Genestealer Cult turn 1. Alrighty, folks. Here we go. Mr. Sanctus Assassin dude gets a pre-move. Or it's not really a pre-move. It's like a move.
When he's revealed, he moves.
When he's revealed from a blip, yes. So he got on the objective. These guys blipped and got on the objective. This bike squad came in back here to work on screening a little bit. This dude's... They did not advance, right? They just moved forward. He moved up. He's the one that cast the Might from Beyond? Mm-hmm. Yeah, which gives a +1 attack, which they have cool rules that allow him to then take that spell, which he was outside of deny range, and then give it to whatever unit he wants. And he used a Genestealer trick to deploy a unit over there, and they then made the big old fantastic 11-inch charge into my Dread Knight with their +1 attacks. It was really cheeky. I'm impressed. It's well played, sir. And they did the business. They're all many attacks. Dropped my dude down to 6 wounds left, and then I only managed to kill 3 in my return swinging, so I was a little underwhelmed. This dude moved up. And so, yeah, at the end of all of that, he's got that objective there. The back objective is very much his own. And then he's sitting comfortably on this objective as well. So we scored up Brood Swarm. He got 1 for the center, 1 for his own deployment zone, because this is the one that if he has more models than me in any of these sections, he gets a point. And if he can do it in all 3, he gets 4 points. And he started R&D, with that squad. Oh, that squad, sorry.
Well, it's this squad. It is in this corner.
Yeah, sorry, in this quadrant. So that squad did it. They also have the cheeky little, they can do an action and still move, shoot stuff. Cool rules. So that's it. That is the end of his turn. We'll be back for Grey Knights. Turn 1 in just a second. Here we go. Grey Knight's turn 1 is over. We did some moving. He got the +1 to hit from the Tech Marine. Moved around this direction. Had line of sight on a little bit, but not a lot. Not on the Ridge Runner. That was a miscalculation on my part. This Interceptor squad, we spent the 2 command points. They teleported up. This dude's got his toe in on the objective. I have spent the 1 command point for the Haloed and Soulfire, so they're -1. You subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll until the start of my next turn, which is nice. Might help them a little bit. And I also cast Sanctuary on them, so that's that. Here's the irony. My Psychic Phase, even though his cool can deny from anywhere on the board, guys, not on the board, he's sitting over there in Deep Strike. I rolled Snake Eyes on, 3 casts, I think? 2. I was able to shrug the mortals because we're Grey Knights and that's cheating, but I don't care. But yeah, he, not able to cast anything. Somebody Crow, he rolled Snake Eyes on a Purifying Flame. Or no, he only rolled a 3 on it, which he needed +1 more to make that go off. Drago, I think, rolled Snake Eyes on something. It was ridiculous. They all just forgot how to cast stuff. We did do some shooting, so we shot most of those guys that were left there, then left enough to charge, and Crow killed them. The 2 Dread Knights took care of the bikes over there off that objective. Then we spent a lot of time shooting downrange into that squad. We took 4 of them away. They passed their morale like bosses. And then we also killed 2 bikes over here. And that was it. I did attempt a long charge from this guy. It was a 9 to get in there. We failed that. And I also attempted to get around the corner into the Ridge Runner, but the flare launchers are cool, and the -2 made me fail. Because I did roll an 8, which we would have probably had to remeasure. I don't know if I'd have gone around the building. But with the -2 to that, it clearly was not an issue. So, that's who it was. He tried to change the tides of the warp and failed. I mean, I needed 4. I had like 2 or 3 different spells that needed a 4, and I failed them. And then I rolled Snake Eyes on a few. So it was a goofy little psychic phase. So I did manage to get 3 points for grind them down, and that's it. End of turn 1. We'll be back for Genestealer Cult turn 2 in a minute. End of Genestealer Cult 2. The game is afoot. Genestealers. I can't remember. Kellamorph and Neophytes. And Patriarch was over here with his little bodyguard dude, and they decided to attack Mr. Crow and destroy him. This guy took a bunch of shooting from these guys cross-firing. He's down to 2 wounds. This guy managed to survive. I lost a dude here and took a wound. I actually lost a guy to psychic. Took a wound in shooting, and that was it. So, but now there's Genestealers everywhere. So I gotta, I got all this. This is a hot mess. And for whatever reason, he didn't want to pile into like my Dread Knights and let me hit him. I don't know why. That was weird. And the Patriarch, by the way, just murdered Crow. I did only fail 2 saves, but I only had 2 wounds left because Mr. Kellamorph shot me and I failed a save against him. So I was down to 2 wounds left from his 3 damage shots. So that's how that all went down. Otherwise, I might have tried to do that. But Crow, got to do his fight on death thing. So I'm excited. That's the first time I ever did that. And it made me happy. So now I can target Mr. Baddie right there. So yeah, we got work to do, is what that amounts to now. So we'll come back in a minute for Grey Knights turn 2. Alright, the Grey Knights turn 2 is now done. We did do some moving things. I got these guys back around this way. Was short of the objective and I wanted their shooting, so I just left them there. These guys I chapter mastered. These guys got out of the Land Raider. Drago moved forward. We did, instead of charging this front squad of Genestealers, we psychicked them real bad and shot the last couple of them. And then this boy charged in and killed the Genestealer squad there. And then tagged them. I took a wound for my troubles because he interrupted my combat on this side, and the Genestealers popped him 1 there. Over here, we just moved up, did some shooting into this squad, took a few of them out, and then he moved forward, the Land Raider moved up, so we still got our OBSEC there. We did move the Land Raider forward so that we could shoot into the Patriarch, and it took heavy bolters, las cannon, which he saved a reroll on, a psi cannon from a Dread Knight, and then ultimately died to the last wound coming off of some interceptors shooting storm bolters at him. But it took a lot to shoot him. Over here, Mr. 2 wounds, stomped forward, shot, killed a few, charged, killed a few, and then the last guy failed his morale. Then back here, we disembarked the other half of my interceptors this direction. We did some psychic and some shooting into the Sanctus, the assassin guy. And then we charged, did combats over here. And so at the end of that, I was able to take my stranglehold and some assassinate points and grind them down. And then that is it. So it feels like I took a lot of his Genestealers off, but he still has deep strikes to bring back. And so there'll be more again in just a minute. So we'll be back for Genestealer Cult. Oh, I only scored 4 primary. Wesley got 8 primary the last turn. So we're still actually pretty similar in points at the moment. So we'll be back in a second for Genestealer Cult turn 3. Tis the end of the Genestealer Cult turn 3. These boys have come to say hello. Unfortunately, they did fail a charge in my Tech Marine, going for those assassinate points. However, I'm going to keep forgetting this, or I was trying to argue with Wiz. I was like, no, they're not in my deployment zone, because his brood swarm thing, it goes from the center of this edge to that corner over there. So all this jizzazz stuff here is all in my deployment zone. So he outnumbers me yet again. Then it just conveniently happens to be, because Wesley's smart, that all those boys are also in the center. So he outnumbers me again in the middle. And then, of course, I have a model touching his deployment zone. So he gets his 4 on Brood Swarm again. Very well played. The Kellamorph dude walked his happy self over here. I did not tag him. There was no way for me to tag him in combat earlier, so he was still free. So he walked over here, got some cute little crossfire action. Did do some shooting. I failed a couple saves, and he dropped me down to 6 wounds on that Dread Knight. These guys fell back so that it could be shot at. Those guys shot pistols into me, but my Dread Knight was okay with those. This Dread Knight, however, got a whole bunch of demo charges in the face and died. He's gone. That's, not terribly shocking because he had a whole 2 wounds left. And then, what is this? Oh yes, look, this character has deep struck, and he's priming an explosive. And because he's a character, it won't be done until Mesa's command phase. However, there's not a lot I can do about him. So he might just get off with a primed explosive, and I'm going to be a little disappointed about that. So I'm thinking about ways I might be able to do things, and I don't have a plan just yet. But that's that. So he picked up the 4 on Brood Swarm. He's got R&D completed now, and that quarter, this quarter, and in that quarter, that squad there was able to get just over the line. So yeah, moving right along. So we will be back for Grey Knights turn 3. I don't know where my brain went. Back for Grey Knights turn 3. Okay, it's the end of turn 3. So we move forward. We psychicked and killed one guy on a super smite. The one time he did a power that went off, he did a super smite. Proud of him. Killed the one character there. We shot these boys, 3 of them. Killed the Nexus. He shot, killed the other one.
Calamus.
Yeah, that one. Over this way, these guys all moved up. We shot and killed the guy with the icon ward.
Icon ward.
Yep, with a multi-melta. He died because the Land Raider had nothing else better to do this turn. These guys shot and only injured the other one. What was he? He was a psyker. Magus. Then we had to charge and we killed him. The Land Raider also shot downwind and killed a couple dudes with a las cannon that were over there, the neophytes, and a couple of acolytes with heavy bolters. And then back here, these 3 squads shot and killed these guys that were here. It was a bloody, brutal mess. I chapter mastered the interceptor squad back there. They moved up to here, and then I was sweating because I couldn't get to that objective, and then in my psychic phase remembered ethereal castigation, so they cast that, went off, so they shot, killed a bunch of the neophytes, and then moved on to that objective there. This guy shot, we killed the Kelemorph. That was that. So, the end of the game, we're going to call it at this point because there's not really a lot left. Assassinate was maxed out. Wes did get is it 4, I think, for a primed explosive because I didn't really have ways to deal with home skillet way back in that corner back there behind the rocks. Not without leaving him open to getting Brood Swarm and a bunch of other objectives, secondaries, and things. So that was that. So it was a very bloody, fun time game. At the end, I picked up the 12 on that second turn. We haven't added this all up. And ironically, it still is kind of close. I did max Assassinate, though. So that would definitely help in this game for me. But there's the score. R&D, he got 3 of them completed, so that's 8. So it's not 3 ones. It's actually 8 points there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It's very interesting to see. And the Genestealer Cult have cool rules that make them play the way you think they should play. But they are definitely, I think, still needing that damage 2 would make a world of difference, especially with the Genestealers, in my mind. I agree. They're fun, they're cool, they hit hard, but they're only damage 1, and that's not acceptable.
The main word of the army is tissue paper.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. Yeah. Then there we go. That is the end of the game. It's been a good time. I hope you enjoy the game.
Always fun.
It is fun. I appreciate you coming. And yeah, that'll be it. So hope you enjoyed the battle report, and we'll catch you on the next one.